welcome to Classic Car Restorer channel. In this next couple episodes, we're going to be showing you how to prep your car at home. We're going to go through the basic of tools, sandpaper, and filling material. Now, when we come to the tools, we have various shapes. Obviously, you have a long board for the open wide surfaces. You have a small board. For smaller surfaces, you want to use a little shape helpers to get some shapes out. You also want some your own made tools. Now, the important thing is to know that you don't want any rough edges, so you want to sand them. So while you are sanding, you don't have scratch marks from them. And later on, we're going to be talking about machines. Now, machines are very good. You're going to have your work done faster, but the problem with them is you often don't have fully control of them, so I prefer to use hand in most time. Now, they do help a lot in wide open surfaces. Next, we're going to be talking about sandpaper, gradation from roughest to the finest one, which one to use when. And then we're going to be talking about a bit of fillers. We have different types of fillers. You're going to need to find what suits you the best. There is a couple variation of them depending on the damage on the car, how deep the damage is. Now, we prefer to fill the damages up to 2 to 3 millimeter. Everything above that, it needs some panel work. So for a start, you want to avoid sanding with your bare hand because it's going to make ripples in your filler work, which you want to avoid at all costs. So use a board wherever you can. If you're prepping the car completely from the metal, you want to use long board as much as possible. They're coming very cheap now and it's easy to buy. Next one, you have soft sponges that you can use in valleys, hills, depending on the shape that you have on a car. Now, the problem with these blocks are they are soft, so you might not get a completely straight surface out of them. Machines are great to use, but they take a lot of materials. So while you are working with them, make sure to know how much material you want to take off. Obviously, you don't want to take too much off. And then you have rotation machines, you got air machines, you got electric machines, depending what you prefer to use. I prefer to use air machines. You have also some addition to these machines, like these sponges. Now, you don't want to use them on straight level surfaces because they tend to follow the surface. So you want to use them on round surfaces, not on straight one. And at the end, we have some of the handmade blocks for surfaces because every car is basically different, every shape is different, so you want to use some of the blocks that you make by your own hand. Like I said in the beginning, the only thing that you need to be careful about this is that you round up the edges. You don't want sharp edges because if you're using them while sanding, they're going to leave awful scratch marks that it's going to be hard to remove. Now, off to a sandpaper, we have from the biggest gradation to the smallest gradation. They usually go from, so the smaller the number it is, let's say, for example, 80, the bigger the number is, it's finer paper. You want to avoid using bigger, rougher sandpaper as much as possible. So if you have really nasty work, use them, but avoid to use them on a surface because you can get deep scratches that it's going to be a problem to remove later. Usually we start with 120, 180 sandpaper to prep the surface, make a filler, and then use finer and finer gradation throughout the prepping procedure. Now we have various sponges also for the corners that your boards cannot reach. They also come in different gradation, 240, 400. So you want to use them in every corner that you cannot reach with the board, because if you don't sand the corners properly, you're probably going to have peeling off of the paint or product that you are applying after the sanding. We have we call it Scotch-Brite. It comes in 2-3 different gradation also. This one is 360 gradation. It's not meant for the sanding the product before the paint, because it leaves obviously deeper scratches that we don't want at the end. The sandpaper also comes in different variation. You got, these ones are mostly all dry sandpapers, but you got also wet sandpaper, which you can use with the water to sand your surfaces. Now you need to use the water not to clog the paper, because they are very fine. They also come in different variations. We start from 800 and going up. So 800,000, 1200, depends what you're doing. And from the end, we have the fillers. They also come in different variations. Now you're going to need to find by yourself which one you prefer more. There's also different types of fillers for deeper repairs, smaller repairs. Some of them easy to sand, some of them are harder to sand. We got, this is the glass fiber. You obviously want to use that on a deeper repair, so more than 3 millimeters depth. They're very hard to sand, so you're going to need to use lower gradation sandpaper. We have medium fillers, which are for 2 to 3 millimeter holes to be filled, and they're quite easy to sand. You need to put, obviously, hardener in every of them, so you need to mix them properly. Now, the only problem with this is you need to mix really, really good. If you leave any red spots in your filler, later during procedure, it might bubble or you might have problems. And we have aluminum filler, which is similar to this fiberglass filler. It's also for the deeper holes to be filled. Okay, this would be everything for this episode. In a couple next episodes, we're going to show you how to mix properly your filler and how to sand your filler on the body.